All right, this video will help you on questions 6, 7, and 8, where you have mixed fractions and fractions on top of fractions. So the skill for this one is very similar to the other ones. You need to be able to convert a fraction to a decimal, but on top of that, you need to be able to convert a mixed fraction to a decimal. And I'll show you how to do that right now. So with the mixed fraction, a lot of you learned it to do basically the Ferris wheel or cartwheel where you multiply and then in the top you just add. We're not going to do that right now. I'm not going to go over it because I think it's not efficient. The most efficient way to solve this is by basically identifying that this fraction, this mixed fraction, represents 10 whole pieces. Let me write those out. 10 whole pieces plus, and that's a plus sign, plus 1/4. So with that idea in mind, we're going to actually use that to our advantage so we could convert this whole mixed fraction to a decimal. So what we need to do, we need to go ahead and write 10 plus 1/4. And remember, 10 stays the same, plus, go ahead and change this 1/4 to a fraction. And I hope you were able to do that really quickly. And 0.25. So go ahead and punch this in your calculator, put 10 plus 0.25, and you should get 0.25. Very similar to the one on top, we're going to do the one in the bottom. So step one, when you see a mixed fraction, what you need to do, you need to split it up. So you're going to do 4 plus 1/2. So 4 stays the same. The plus sign stays the same. 1/2 is converted to a decimal, and that's 0.5. And you add those two numbers together, and you should get 4.5. That's how you convert a mixed fraction to a decimal. Okay, with that in mind, we're going to do some example problems using mixed fractions and unit rates. Just a quick reminder, a rate is going to be converted by using division into a unit rate. And remember, any decimal can be converted to a fraction at the end. So let's go ahead and do one example problem. And the example problem we'll probably do will be this one. So, California firefighters are planning to use a new water pump that has a flow rate of 48 and 1/3 gallons per 7.5 minutes. Find the unit rate of the new water pump. So, what is the question asking you to find? I hope you were quickly able to identify that's asking you to find the unit rate of the new water pump. Now, with that in mind, what information have they provided about the new water pump? I hope you're able to identify that they provided a rate. They told you that there's 48 and 1/3 G for gallons over 7.5 minutes M for minutes. And remember, we're trying to find the unit rate. The unit rate is represented by a 1 in the bottom in the minute. And we don't know what the number on top will be. So that's what we're going to find out. So just like I told you before, you need to convert that mixed fraction into essentially into a decimal. So it's 48 plus 1/3 G for gallon. That's on top. The bottom will be 7 plus 1/2 M for minutes. So 4 plus 1/8, you're going to have to rewrite the 48 again, plus 1/3. Go ahead and convert that to a decimal. And that's 0.33. And it actually repeats a lot. So I'm putting a little bar to let you know that it's going to repeat a lot. For the 7 stays the same. You're going to put a plus. The 1/2 in the decimal form is 0.5. Now, if when you add these values up, you should get 48.33 G for gallons. We're going to separate these units over minutes, and that's 48.33 over 7.5. Now, when you convert that in, now you could actually convert this into a decimal again by dividing the top and bottom with your calculator. And when you do that, you should get the following value. You should get 6.44. So let me change that into blue. So when you divide these up you should get 6.44. And that is 6.44. Let me actually get rid of this. Let me erase the bottom. 6.44. But what are they representing? That's the question. 6.44 what? Is he talking about money? What exactly are we talking about? And you can't forget the gallons over minutes. And remember, we could change anything to a fraction by just adding a 1 in the bottom. So it's 6.44 gallons per 1 minute. And that's your answer. If they're just talking about the gallons, then you just put 6.44. And typically that's what they're asking for. I hope this has helped you with that type of problem. Just remember that every time you see a mixed fraction, you want to change it to a decimal right away.